From too much water due to heavy downpours in parts of the Western Cape to not enough water because of a crisis unfolding in Knysna. Western Cape Premier Alan Winde is about to give a media briefing to outline their response to these issues. In fact, he hasn't spoken yet, but the briefing itself has started. Let's listen in.
As indicated, that based on observations, we can confirm that 2025 received below normal rainfall conditions for the province of the Western Cape. And into the next month, as indicated, we're still seeing that these below normal rainfall conditions are expected to continue to persist. And please note that the below normal rainfall does not mean there won't be any rain. We will experience some rain. There would still be isolated incidents of extreme rainfall events. However, on average, those conditions would remain below normal rainfall, which of course poses a risk, and hence these engagements to call for proactive actions from the relevant key stakeholders to plan accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you.
This on. Yeah. Mute this on. Is this okay? You want to mute it, please?
Can I go?
Yes.
Good morning, Premier Ministers, colleagues in the room, media, representatives. There's a detailed presentation. I'm going to do a abbreviated version of the presentation. And this is just in relation to the water and the water security status within the province. This slide just gives you a detail about the dam levels. If you do a comparison, mainly on the right-hand side, you will see last year at the same time the dam levels were around about 80% combined in the province. At this point in time, it's about 58%, and we do track the dam levels on a regular basis. It implies on a weekly basis, and we work together with the Department of Water and Sanitation to get an understanding about the performance of the various dams and the various water supply systems within the province. That sort of gives you indication. We can see geographically mapped, and this is also from the Department of the Water and Sanitation, that where you see the red dots and the orange dots, the most probably where the dam levels have decreased significantly. And if you look at this slide and you look at the next slide, you can see it corroborates, it sort of coincides. So this slide is just where the department or the Western Cape government does an assessment of each town in relation to the water status. And you can see, particularly in the Central Karoo area and in the Southern Cape, that there's a number of towns that are at risk in relation to the water supply. Just so we do annual assessments, biannual assessments on the state of water in each town of each municipality to get indication of what the status is, do assessment of the water supply as well as demand management. The river flow, we go and assess what the dam level performance are, and we then categorize the various municipalities. We do this on a regular basis, but given the fact that we do work over the last 3 months in most of these municipalities, we do a recategorization of them on a regular basis. So the high-risk municipalities are at this point in time Knysna, Colin, and Beaufort West. And I can go into detail. I think Knysna is quite in the media at this point in time. They have declared, the council has last week declared a local disaster. So if you look at this slide quickly, and I'm not necessarily going to focus on it, but you will see that the current system can supply 20 megalitres a day. Their current demand, given the work that we've done there over the last 2 months, is now 9 megalitres a day, and that's the lowest that it has been. It's on average 12 megalitres. But the biggest problem with Knysna is that they lose 7.9 megalitres through pipe burst, water losses, bypass water meters to the extent of 8,000 bypass water meters. And obviously the dam the level has slightly increased to about 18%. It buys them about additional 13 days in the system. And our approach is to try and fill the dam in Knysna, particularly the Akkerkloof Dam. The main problem is that given the augmentation that we've done now in Knysna, additional boreholes, we had 2 or 3 boreholes come online. There's various other augmentation by means of springs, and the provincial government is working very closely with the national department to ensure that Knysna does not reach a day zero. Fundamentally, it's management challenges, the ability to plan and execute. But I think if we work together, we will prevent Knysna from reaching a day zero. There's places like Kanaland, they have also declared a local disaster. This is where the demand is higher than what the supply can be or can supply. And it's a combination, is boreholes, is dams. So the surface water, given the rainfall, below average rainfall, the flows of the river has decreased. Obviously the dam levels have decreased, and now what we are doing is we identify areas with the geohydrologists and engineers where we can actually put boreholes in for some of these municipalities. Beaufort is the same. So your medium risk municipalities are these. Some of these municipalities were in the high risk category, but given the work that the provincial government has done there, at many of these municipalities, like George, like Swellendam, they have been recategorized, and they are in the medium sort of categorization of some of these municipalities. Our engineers and our geohydrologists and our own staff are working around the clock with these municipalities to ensure that there's adequate water supply in the system. Those are just the various municipalities, and that's a detail. It's a combination of where they get their water from, what the demand is. But I can tell you that many of these municipalities have instituted water restrictions. And there's from level 1 to level 4. Like in the case of Knysna, it's now 6 kiloliters per household per month. If you convert that number, it's about 50 liters per person per day. So we're also looking at how municipalities implement the water restrictions levels and given the risks in each of those towns.
All right, these are live pictures we're beaming to you from officials from the Western Cape who are giving a briefing outlining their response to a two-pronged problem. On the one hand, there's those wildfires that have really swept through parts of the province for the past couple of days, and that is compounded by a water shortage that's gripped a number of municipalities. We'll keep a very close eye and ear on that briefing to get a sense of what the way forward looks like.